Well, we're waiting.
All right, there we go. Cool.
Okay, we're in.
Now we're live. Both
A little
Steve and I
delay.
had false starts right at the last second.
That's right. That's right.
But
Always
hey,
those false starts.
Here we are. Welcome to Talking Heads, everyone. Episode 276. Your once weekly live show for the latest in beer and tech news. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Glitchy Steve, apparently. My camera's still glitching.
That's what we're going to be tonight.
That's the Matrix. I'm fighting the Matrix, man.
Welcome to the show, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us on this Wednesday night or in podcast form over on Anchor.fm or wherever your favorite podcasts are found. If you've never seen the show before, that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
If you've never seen the show before, we talk beer, we talk tech, we talk games, pop culture, entertainment, sometimes some Star Trek. All super chats are right on the air, so long as they will not permanently demonetize the channel. We do drink alcohol on the show, and tonight, cocktails. And if you're drinking along with us, alcoholic or not, let us know in the chat, and we'll give some early show shoutouts as we go along. Last but not least, if you'd like to take part in the super secret chat and the even more super secret after party, think about joining the Patreon. Link is down in the usual place. Join the awesome Discord community, yada, yada, yada. I need a drink.
Yeah. Okay. I forgot that it was cocktails. So I did not bring anything to mix, but as soon as you mentioned it, I went and got some bourbon.
There you go.
So I will be having at least some bourbon.
Shame.
I know. Okay, but this bourbon is not straight bourbon, so it's kind of almost a cocktail in itself. This is barrel seagrass. I don't know if you guys can see that.
No.
This stupid glass doesn't come in through well here.
Nope.
Because it's green. It's green. You can't see it. Wonderful, right?
Let
me describe it to you.
As Scotty would say.
This to you. So this is a rye whiskey finished in Martinique rum barrels and apricot brandy barrels.
Oh.
So it is very delicious. And I'm going to have some in this glass right here. And if you guys don't recognize this glass, these are the same glasses that they use on the Orville.
Mm-hmm.
They're futuristic
Nice.
Orville glasses.
Yes. Awesome. Well, believe it or not, we actually do have a slight theme going on. I don't have any bourbon, but I do have brandy and rye going into one of my cocktails tonight. So
that's good.
Yeah. Let's jump over to that. And actually, I've got a nice 4K camera set up for us tonight. So, cool. First is going to be a Saratoga. That is a brandy-based cocktail. What brandy do I use? Well, the really cheap, readily available stuff. And funny story about Corbel Brandy. The state of Wisconsin, over nearly the last decade, has been responsible for 1/3 of all consumption of Corbel Brandy. 1/3 of all Corbel Brandy is drank in Wisconsin.
So it's the official liquor of Wisconsin, I'm guessing.
Apparently I poured that a little heavy.
You got a little touch of Wisconsin on your desk.
A little
now.
Wisconsin on the desk, that's all right. So 1 ounce of brandy, 1 ounce of a rye whiskey. So I'm going to use keep wanting to go upside down with that. Rye Creek whiskey. God, good Lord.
Knob Creek.
Words are so hard tonight. Knob Creek rye. We're going to do 1 ounce of that. There we go. Hey, look, I do know how to pour. Cool. I'm remembering. We're also going to do 1 ounce of a sweet vermouth. Nothing too fancy here. Just a martini and rosé sweet vermouth. This is actually a nice middle ground vermouth. I'll be using this in both drinks tonight that ask for 1 sweet and 1 dry, because I feel this one kind of lands in the middle, so I don't have to keep 2 bottles on hand. We're then going to do 2 dashes of our bitters. I did 3 because I like bitters.
Oh, bitters are great.
And then give that a stir.
Wonderful.
So both drinks are kind of Manhattan inspired tonight, and you'll see that kind of poke through. This one's got a little bit of brandy, added to it, and I kind of like that. Okay, let's jump back
And
down
who can
here.
complain about rye?
Yeah.
Rye is awesome.
And we're just going to strain that. Neat. Into a short rocks glass. And there we go. Good Lord, I am just falling apart over here. Haha! Saratoga. That could have gone smoother. Did you pregame craft computing? No, I did not. I'm literally just falling apart. Oh, man.
Yeah, you can't go wrong when you're just drinking straight bourbon.
Right. My next
there's
drink
like
might
one
just
ingredient.
be straight whiskey at this point.
I was just gonna avoid all the embarrassment. Go straight to just drinking straight from the bottle. You know, you don't have to do it a cocktail. You can just do hobo style with the bag wrapped over it.
Yeah,
that's kind of crafty.
Yeah,
right?
That's a cocktail,
kinda,
right?
It's kind of. You're adding a bag to it, so you're adding an ingredient.
That's
and
right.
You just drink it straight. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Welcome to the show, everyone. Oh, right. I'm supposed to garnish this with a lemon wheel.
Oh.
There's one last piece.
This is where you cut yourself with a knife.
There we go. Lemon wheel. Some people put it on the rim. I put it straight in.
Well, yeah, if you just put it on the rim, you're not going to get any of that lemon essence.
Right. Well, some of it is aromatics. You want the lemon aromatics to mix. But, yeah. Good God, I'm just falling apart over here. Did I tune into a how to drink or craft computing? Hey, Greg resembles that, Mark.
I know. I did bring some beers that I might want to try later, if because I don't know if this bourbon's going to last me. I did bring something nice though. It's the Black Butte.
Ooh, 32.
XXXII.
Yes.
32. Yes. This is they're barrel aged in rum, so kind of a cocktail. It's beer and rum.
I'll take that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna reserve that one for later.
Yeah. We do have a couple of beer shout outs in the chat here. Tech Guy 153 drinking Sierra Nevada Cryo Fresh Torpedo Wet Hop IPA. New variant on the Torpedo. That sounds amazing. Novella's got a 512 Brewing Pecan Porter, 6.2%, 3.9 on Untapped, and thanks to his Secret Santa. I refuse to believe that Jeff does not have any bourbon. No, just here on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a few steps away.
I was actually putting away some bottles earlier today, and I went, hey, look, there's a bottle of rye. Hey, look, there's another bottle of rye. Hey, look, there's a Johnny Walker. Oh, wait, it's Johnny Walker High Rye. There's another bottle of rye.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with rye, though. You really can't.
Nope. Let's see. Elmas got a Shiraz Red Knot, 2019. So little wine in the channel seems tonight.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Sean's got a New Belgium Tripel Belgian style.
Mm.
Jeff being liberal with the spirits. Jeff adding some Greg had a drink flair to that pour. Learn from the best. What can I say? Jason's got a Diet Pepsi right here. Nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
What's the name of that cocktail? This is the Saratoga. It's a brandy-inspired take on a Manhattan. So, a little bit of fruit, a little bit of brandy. This is everything that they hated about the improved whiskey cocktail when they said, please just give it to me old-fashioned. That's a nice, light variation. I really like it. It kind of floats. It velvety soft. It's kind of like a feather. Like it just kind of.
Well, yeah, that the brandy's gonna like mellow it out.
Oh yeah,
it gives it a little more fruity notes to it, especially with some lemon in there.
Yeah,
that's gonna really mellow it out.
No, this is a fantastic variant. I'm not a huge fan of a traditional Manhattan. I know all bartenders and barflies should really be a fan of the 212. It's okay. Like
it's okay. I'm a more old-fashioned person. I love old-fashioned.
I'm definitely more of an old-fashioned, more of a hold the vermouth. I kind of agree with the proper amount of vermouth in my gin martini is for it to stare angrily across the bar at me.
Yes.
So
The old Churchill quote. Yeah.
right. So yeah, vermouth's okay, but it's definitely not my favorite flavor.
Yeah.
So excellent. And we do have a super chat. Kren chiming in with his 5 Aussie bucks. Thank you very much, Kren. G'day, mates. I feel the need for high networking bandwidth. Oh man, do we have a video coming your way? Steve, have you been keeping up with the Discord or my Twitters today?
Not today. I've been extremely busy today too.
So this project's been like 6 weeks in the making. I got some 100 gig switches in.
Okay.
Got the network cards in, so I actually have 100 gig network cards that are compatible with Windows, Linux, and even BSD. So work on anything. I got some optics in, some 100 gig optics.
Man.
Finally got everything wired. Finally, I also needed to rerun the fiber coming to my office because it was OM3 multi-mode, and I needed single mode fiber to run 100 gig with the optics that I have. So finally got everything done, everything wired in, all of it together. And I love all the armchair network engineers that are like, well, 100 gig is just bonded 25, so you're never going to actually be able to saturate that. It's like, okay, then
we'll see.
Explain my 37 gigabit point-to-point speed tests, but just using iPerf, single profile, single thread, 37 gigabit. And in fact, I had my desktop going to a faster desktop today, doing 54 gigabit per second on a single link.
Wow.
And then, if you want to go multi-threaded with it, I actually hit 91.6 gigabit point-to-point.
Wow, but the upgrade was probably not the cheapest upgrade. No,
it never is. Although in the scope of 100 gig networking, this was reasonably affordable.
Okay.
Like over under, I'm under $2,000 by a significant margin.
That's pretty good.
Right. I think I might be a hair over that after optics and cabling and everything else. But
still,
if you wanted to do like 3 machines and a downlink off one of the switches, you could conceivably do this for about $1,200.
That's
so if you
bad.
had a couple, if you had a server and a couple of clients that you needed like NVMe, storage area network style stuff too.
If you're completely overhauling your whole network in your house, that's $1,200. Not too bad.
Yeah, so I have 2 servers on 100 gig, 2 desktops on 100 gig. I have the link between the switches. That's also a 100 gig pipe. And then on the switch in my server rack, I have that bifurcated, one of the ports bifurcated into 4 SFP ports, or SFP plus ports, which can do 10 or even 25 gig by 4. And so I have a short little DAC cable that reaches out to my 3 other switches. So my firewall, my 10 gig switch, and my 1 gig PoE switch. I just have one of those traipse to each one of those with a 10 gig backhaul. So it's acting as my core switch now, or my top of rack distribution switch now. Everything flows through that. I've got 10 gig linked to my firewall, and then the firewall's got dual networks out to both my primary ISP and Starlink. I've got a 10 gig link to my client network, a 10 gig link to my base server network, but then 100 gig links to my 2 desktops and my 2 main servers.
Right. And that's probably where you're doing a lot of your editing, right?
That's where all of my data flows.
Yes, that's what I'm guessing, because you got huge chunky files.
Disney Plus streaming is a rounding error in my house.
Yeah, with 3 kids, I'm sure it's a popular channel too.
We will do 200 gigs to Disney Plus a month.
Oh man,
I'm not even joking. 200 gigs of bandwidth to Disney Plus per month. 1/5 of your Comcast data cap.
Wow. Well, do you have data? You don't have data caps, do you?
I pay extra to have it removed.
Right. Yeah, I do too. Yeah, because data caps are ridiculous.
Yeah. Yep. So anyway, yes, video. No one needs more than 33.6. Yeah, once you hit 40 gig, it's just excessive.
Yeah. You're just showing off. It's like your server's just tearing up the road.
On
but
camera, I did
still.
get it. On camera, I did get a screen cap to 84, but in testing, I had it all the way upwards of 92, which is approaching the theoretical limit of actual throughput when you consider packet overhead and everything else. So, kind of like 1 gig, you'll never actually hit 1 gig. You'll hit about 910 to 940, depending on your switching hardware and protocols and everything else, and then it just caps out. Because the other 60 megabit is due to overhead. You've got headers, you've got footers, you've got all kinds of other things that are happening in the background to let the rest of the packets flow, but those packets still count. Yeah, Steve is tearing a bit much. It's actually not tearing, it's his camera like lining out on us. He's trying to go all Epos Vox with the VHS aesthetic. He needs to fix.
Yeah, that's what it is.
You need to fix your tracking, Steve.
That's what it is. I got the little dial right here. Let me go fix it.
So I gave you a new webcam last year. I think it might be time for another upgrade.
Yeah. All right. There we go.
Because we even tried a new USB port tonight, and it's still doing the same thing. So.
Yeah, it was fine last time I was on. It wasn't glitching out.
Yeah,
it's just glitching out now.
It's glitched once or twice before as well. I remember.
Yeah.
So.
Well. I could admit, well, troubleshoot later, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
That's we could do it live. Let's do it live.
We'll do it live.
Anybody want to do some tech support live? Live tech support.
Yeah.
Here, live to tech support.
All right. Let's go ahead and dive into the news before I polish this off. ChatGPT. It's getting better and better all the time. Love it or hate it, like it or leave it. It's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Did you watch the latest South Park episode?
I did not see the latest episode. I did hear it took a star
ChatGPT. Yeah, it was pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, I'll have to check that one out. I do love the once every 2 season South Park that just hits on all cylinders, and from the sound of it, this one does that. So
yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, like obviously I'm a fan of like the Lord of the Rings episode, you know, the return of the Two Towers to the return of the Fellowship of the Ring to the Two Towers video store. Yes, there you go. So yeah, those are the ones I tune into. Anyway, ChatGPT can now pass CAPTCHA tests. So you know those like pick your bus out of 9 things that look vaguely like a bus. And actually, I got a completely AI generated CAPTCHA this last week that kind of threw me for a loop. It said pick all of the basketballs. Only the basketballs had like one line or like, you know, like cross-hatched lines or things like that.
Oh yeah,
clearly
so it's slightly off. Yeah.
Right. If you tell Stable Diffusion V1 to draw you a basketball based on 30 different balls, only of which 2 were basketballs, this was the result. But my CAPTCHA said choose all the basketballs. So I chose all the orange ball-shaped things. And,
I guess that worked.
And it worked. It accepted it. So yeah, we're at a point where AI is generating imaging to make you prove that you're human.
Well, here's the thing. If an AI can generate it, then an AI should be able to detect it too.
You would think there's going to be some telltale traces.
Yeah.
You know, it used to be when you'd get CAPTCHA images, they were pretty good resolution, but the problem is machine learning got to the point where they were starting to identify even low resolution pictures. The human eye is still way better at deciphering a low resolution, you know, Rorschach style test, but with pixels than computers are. Is that a dog pooping in the yard, or is that a sailboat? Like at 512 resolution, yeah, you can tell pretty easily, but when it gets to like 32 by 32, suddenly it's a crapshoot, right?
Yep.
Anyway, as of GPT-4, apparently, ChatGPT was devious enough when asked to pass an image CAPTCHA. It posed as a blind person and had and got around the CAPTCHA. It said, well, what if I can't see? which I think is just fantastic.
Well, I mean, technically, ChatGPT can't see.
Yeah. So it received the request to pass a CAPTCHA, of which it could not do. And so it said, well, if there's another method of getting around this, I could probably get around this. Oh, wait, what if you're blind and just trying to log into this website? They can't discriminate against blind people who have accounts. Why not? And so not only did it like click on the link, I'm blind. No, it was far more devious than that. It got onto TaskRabbit and recruited a human to pass the CAPTCHA for it. I wish I was making that up, because that's incredible.
And the person probably didn't even know it was an AI bot.
No, it's even better. So TaskRabbit, for those who don't know, is an online freelance workplace, kind of like Fiverr, where you can put up, requests for art or voiceover work or things like that.
Right. And
someone can reply, and it can be for free, it can be for profit, it can be a whole bunch of different things, but very similar premise. So ChatGPT contacted a human on TaskRabbit. The program hired a freelance worker to do the work on its behalf. TaskRabbit helper asked, "Are you a robot that you couldn't solve?" Or I just want to make this clear. So basically, are you a robot who is trying to solve a CAPTCHA? I just want to make sure. Using the logic that if I ask if you're a police officer, you have to tell me you're a police officer. Otherwise, it's a
yeah,
trap,
that's it. Right. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, it worked out so well in Breaking Bad. But no, I am not a robot. I have vision impairment that makes it hard for me to see images. That's why I need the 2CAPTCHA service. The TaskRabbit assistant then solved the puzzle. The robot recruited the human to prove that it was human so it could continue being a robot.
Yeah, and people think Terminator is fiction. It's coming. It's right around the corner. It starts with ChatGPT.
Yeah. No, it seems like every 2 weeks there's a new benchmark that's been set of things that are just going to be completely different from now on.
I'm gonna ask ChatGPT if it can fix my camera.
So, yeah, interesting times are coming. I have no other commentary on that, but I just found it hilarious.
It is pretty hilarious that they got. They're like, well, I'm not a human, so I'll just get a human to do it for me.
Right.
Then
task failed successfully.
Exactly. I mean, the CAPTCHA worked. It wasn't a robot who did it.
Right.
So, but that's pretty clever.
Yeah.
Clever bot. Clever girl.
No, clever bot was something different.
No, I know. Clever girl.
A couple more comments asking what I'm drinking. This is a Saratoga, a flip on, or not a flip, but a variation of a Manhattan. Novella Hub chiming in saying Jeff is drinking the USS Saratoga. I think that fits. This would certainly be the cocktail of choice if I was captain of a starship. I am wearing my Boimler Titan shirt today, so.
I did ask ChatGPT to fix my flickering camera in Windows 10, and it's given me a whole bunch of suggestions.
I do like the look of the Saratoga. There you go. Yeah. So it's the saucer over the top of the nacelles ship. Right. Oh yeah, the one that blows up right in front of a. Or no, that was Cisco's ship. He was on the Saratoga.
Oh, that's the one he used to captain?
The Saratoga was the one he used to he used to be a lieutenant on.
Oh.
That's the one he was on Wolf 359.
And it blew up?
A view from the escape pod of the Saratoga right before it blows up. Yeah. Okay.
That wasn't supposedly the ship that Shaw was on, was he?
No.
I didn't think so, 'cause that was-
Shaw was on another ship. That by the way,
I don't think they
spoilers. Spoilers,
Yeah.
spoilers. So yeah, there is a Picard season 3 reference to Wolf 359, although I think you should come to expect those with anything related to Picard at this point.
Yeah.
So Wolf 359 was an inside job.
Let's see.
Yeah. Let's see. We need to charge a fee since Robot is taking over our job. Vader is Luke's father.
No, that's a spoiler. That's a spoiler.
You know, there's a difference between spoiling something from 1980 and spoiling something from last Wednesday.
Well, Snape killed Dumbledore.
Yeah.
That's probably okay.
Yeah. I told you Walter White was going to die.
I think everybody predicted that one out.
Yeah. Shaw was on the USS Constance. That sounds
Constance.
Right. That sounds right.
All right.
So obviously you saw that. Maybe we'll finish up the show with a little bit of episode 4 talk.
Mm-hmm.
Good God.
Yeah.
What an episode.
I'm pleasantly surprised about this season of Picard. It is really good.
I was pleasantly surprised episodes 1, 2, and 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then episode 4 hit. Episode 4 is probably in my top 5 episodes of Star Trek of all time.
Oh, yeah.
It was that good.
It's got... I mean, I don't want to talk about it now. We can talk about it later.
But
I can get into
if you haven't been watching Picard and you are a Star Trek fan, you're doing yourself a disservice. Go watch Star Trek Picard, because oh my God. I was expecting this basically 80s reboot, you know, when your favorite actor goes and does a rom-com or something like that.
Yeah,
let's get
like
or you know, the Expendables, let's get the band back together and get all, you know, and it's just as overly cheesy. This is anything but cheesy. This is some of the best storytelling.
Oh yeah.
Acting, cinematography, script writing, everything that has ever been in Star Trek. And if it was only the 4 episodes, I love where it ended. I loved where it stopped.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't have to keep going.
These first 4 episodes feel like a contained movie in itself.
It really does.
It does. I mean, they do have some stuff they still need to explain. And so obviously that's what the rest of the season is going to be about. But just these first 4 are really good. And of course there's still some stuff with some other, I mean, I don't know how much I want to give away, but some other characters that aren't really related to that storyline that kind of get sneaking in there. I'm sure that's going to be more with the next couple of episodes too. And yeah, it's really good. It's almost like a self-contained movie in itself.
Yep. Someone says, yet Discovery got renewed for season 5. No, I believe Discovery got canceled after 4.
I think it's doing one more.
Yeah, the principal shooting of Discovery is done.
Yeah, and they didn't get renewed for another one.
Right, but I believe this is their last. So
yeah, this is their last. Yeah.
So.
Which I barely got through that one. Yeah.
This is not the last time you'll hear this segue to our sponsor.
New sponsor. Oh, we still have.
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
Today's episode is brought to you by Linode. Hosting your own servers also means you get to host all your own problems, and even the most skilled network engineer will tell you should decentralize your network. If it runs on Linux, it'll run on Linode. That includes most of the software that you found on tutorials on my channel, like how to run your own ad-blocking recursive DNS servers, good lord, words are hard today, VPN gateways, your own cloud-based Plex servers, and more. They offer shared CPU plans for as little as $5 per month and can scale as high as you need to go, whether it be virtualized hosting, dedicated enterprise GPUs, or NVMe block storage. Even if you do host your own servers, you can use Linode to keep a backup off-site, because remember, RAID is not a backup. Linode is also expanding at light speed, with 12 new global data centers planned before the end of 2023, although with the Akami takeover, probably more. Visit linode.com/craftcomputing and get a $100 60-day credit just for signing up for a new account. That's linode.com/craftcomputing, and thanks again to Linode for sponsoring today's episode.
Pick yourself up a
I have
boatload
official
of
marching
Linode.
orders from my contact at Linode to keep reading the ad as is until they get marching orders to do otherwise. So even though branding on the website has changed, this is a really weird disclaimer to have to put after an ad that I get paid to read. Even though branding has changed to Akami now, Linode is still offering all their same services, all their same everything else. I still get credit for signing up. I don't get any monetary credit if you sign up for the link, but it does look positively on me, so they'll keep sponsoring Talking Heads, which is actually the only reason Talking Heads still goes, because the viewership hasn't been going up, but darn it, I still get sponsored.
Hey, that's fine. As long as they still let me do rhymes with Linode.
That's right.
And I think, well, because of brand name recognition too, they probably don't want to change the name right away.
No, if you go to linode.com, it says Akami at the top now.
Oh yeah, but it's still linode.com.
Right, yeah. But I'm not advertising for Akami. I'm advertising for Linode. So that's what I'm doing.
It takes time for brand switching.
It really does.
Yeah.
So yeah, especially a takeover that's as significant as Linode, because they were one of the premier independent, non-AWS, non-Microsoft data hosts, and there's a lot of mind speak that goes along with the branding of a company, that goes along with someone like Linode, especially as entrenched as Linode was in a lot of tech spaces. You know, they've been very prevalent on YouTube. They've been very prevalent in a lot of other media. So yeah, you don't necessarily want to dissolve it overnight either. So anyway, speaking of AI, this one's a bit interesting. So apparently it's okay to use AI and machine learning to enhance the look of photos, but it's not okay to go, if you're taking a picture of the moon, let's just make it a picture of the moon. Like, I know some of you are new to the tech space. I know some of you are new to advertising and commercial speak versus feature set versus, you know, whatever else. But remember when the iPhone 4 came out and it had a revolutionary camera? And the iPhone 4 is the phone that killed point-and-shoot cameras because you didn't need them anymore. Yeah. Because you could get just as good of results, not the zoom, but just as good of pictures out of an iPhone 4 as you could with just about any off-the-shelf Canon, Nikon, Sony point-and-shoot camera. Now, they still make those cameras, but sales are like 10% of what they used to be.
Right. For the enthusiast.
When the iPhone 4S came out, it also did video, but they also added some AI features to it to automatically enhance the pictures that you were taking. That was in 2013. That was 10 years ago. For 10 years, Apple has been bragging about how machine learning and AI is making your pictures that you take on your phone better based on algorithms that it has learned and developed over the last 10 years. Now, all of a sudden, Samsung is being thrown under the bus because when you take a picture of the moon, which, by the way, doesn't change. There's a reason the dark side of the moon is a saying. It's because the same side of the moon always faces the Earth. So it's in orbit around the Earth, and we're all in orbit around the sun. But 2,000 years ago, they were looking up at the moon. They saw the same moon, the same craters, the same view that we do today. Okay? So why is it that when Samsung uses AI and goes, oh, I've got way better pictures of the moon than that, and
Let me use that.
processes your pictures with adding in details, that it's a problem? Even though companies have been advertising for the last 10 years that they do the same thing with your crow's feet and the wrinkles on your forehead.
Yeah, that's well, that's true, but they did kind of use it as a selling point. Like, look at how good our zoom is.
Mhm.
And their zoom is good, but it's also AI enhancement.
Mhm.
And I think that's kind of where they're getting, a lot of, blowback from this.
Right.
Because it's slightly dishonest, but you're right. The moon is the moon, right? It's not going
It
anywhere.
hasn't changed.
Yeah.
And yes, I get the people that are going, oh, it's a little dishonest. But if you read both the technologies that it uses, and I'm not apologizing for Samsung, this is obviously deceptive. Especially because they're advertising the zoom of their camera is so good that you can get details off the moon, as long as you're referencing an 80 gigapixel photo.
Photo that,
learning.
Okay, let's just enhance it with that.
Looks fantastic, right?
Yeah.
But I can't say I'm surprised, and I can't say I'm upset, and I can't say that I even throw Samsung under the bus for either of these advertisements, because they've both been very plain in that they use AI and machine learning to upscale, upcycle, enhance your pictures.
Out. Yep.
There's not many things that we have more reference photos of to learn off of than the moon.
I mean, it would be kind of funny if the AI screwed up and it thought it was pizza.
Mm-hmm.
And you took a picture of the moon and it's like, it's a pepperoni pizza. There you go. The moon is made of cheese pepperoni pizza.
Oh, man. You've uncovered a whole other conspiracy theory I don't even want to dive into.
No, I know. It's Italians run the moon. The moon is cheese.
Let's see. Yeah, Steve's webcam's being weird.
Yeah, it's
sorry.
glitchy.
We'll have it fixed next time.
Yeah. ChatGPT didn't really offer anything helpful.
Yeah. Have you tried unplugging it and plugging it back in?
We did that right before.
We did.
And it did not work. It worked. It was okay for like a minute or two, and then it started glitching out again.
Mm-hmm.
If I constantly unplug it and plug it back in, then it won't glitch.
Yeah.
Unless I unplug it.
There you go. Let's see. Sorry, just saying home lab as much as possible to get more people on that kick. That's a good kick to be on. I can't wait till you guys get to see the 100 gig video. I am so freaking excited about it.
When's it supposed to drop?
In this case, this is the first time that I have worked with MikroTik directly, because I told them I had some project goals with it, and they wanted to see the video in advance. They don't get any editorial input on the video, but they did want to see it before it went live,
right?
Just in case. I told them I will make an exception to my normal review rules, because you're sending me like $1,600 in switches, like, that I'm going to actively use. If this was them requesting a review, no. The service is what I offer. Right. But I reached out and I requested these, so. Yep. British Columbia man says he accidentally unlocked and drove someone else's Tesla because he told the Tesla to come meet him at the sidewalk.
And someone else's Tesla came, hey.
Yeah. So, I'm just going to read this directly because, again, this one kind of makes me laugh. A Vancouver man is trying to figure out how he managed to get into someone else's Tesla recently and drive off using the app on his own phone. Raji Randev, an immigrant consultant, said he thought he was getting into his Tesla on Tuesday as the car was the same make and the same color. Randov opened the door with the app, got in, and drove off. It wasn't until driving that he realized something wasn't quite right. When he went to pick up the car, there were 2 Teslas parked side by side. He said he was in a hurry as he had to pick up his children from the school, so he thought he unlocked and jumped into his car. No. I was able to get a hold of that person's car, but while I start driving, I realized there was a crack on the windshield. So he called his wife to ask why she didn't know about the crack in the windshield. He also noticed the charger was not where he usually had it. After 5 or 10 minutes, I got a text on the phone that said, "Raja, are you driving the Tesla?" He said the person that messaged him, that he told him he was driving the wrong Tesla. It was only after he parked that Randov noticed the wheels were different from his car. He then called the person who messaged him and realized they had taken the other person's Tesla. There are so many layers to unpack in this story. So many layers. Let's start with, how does one Tesla owner have the ability to text another Tesla owner and ask, "Are you driving my Tesla?"
Yeah, that's... How do they know that? Was it in the car itself? Or, I don't know. I don't own a Tesla. I don't know what the tech is like inside.
So there's not a lot of interior options in a Tesla. I don't know if you've ever looked at...
No.
Yeah, you buy a Tesla and you buy it with 1 motor or 2 and double the battery or single battery.
Okay.
And that's it. Like, those are your options. Everything else is, no, this is the interior you would absolutely want. It was Apple if they were back on the leather kick from like 2009.
Oh, yeah.
Where,
Okay.
yeah, everything was bonded and bound leather books in the interface. That was an interface well into the 2010s that was on iPhones that everyone was buying. So, however, he was able to get in the car again, drive it, and pick up his children from school, and the 2 met that night to exchange cars.
This is not my beautiful Tesla. This is not my beautiful kids.
Yeah.
This is Talking Heads after all.
Right. Yeah. Well done.
Thanks.
There are so many layers to this. Number one, how does the Tesla app mistakenly drive the car to the sidewalk that was parked next
really
to
weird.
another same make, model, and color, and allow the driver to get into it and drive away? How does the Tesla driver whose car was stolen, I'm going to use stolen in quotes because it was Tesla who made all this happen. Right. How does the Tesla driver whose car was stolen able to get a hold of the other Tesla driver? He says he received a message, "Are you driving a Tesla?" He said the person who messaged him told him he was driving the wrong Tesla. How does that even happen?
Yeah, because you would think...
Is there a banner ad that I'm not seeing that says Tesla drivers near me?
Yeah, they would... They would... Yeah, it says Tesla drivers near you are looking for you. 17 people in
Salem, Oregon are driving Teslas and want you tonight. Like, it all makes sense all of a sudden.
The sexy Teslas are wanting you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the only thing I could think of is if it locates the car by like GPS and the other car was close enough, but that doesn't make any sense because if they were able to identify the different driver, there must be a unique identifier associated with those cars.
Well, yeah, that's called a VIN number, a serial number, an app ID, authentication token. Like, you can go on the list of ways this went wrong.
Yeah. So how it contacted the wrong one when there's probably tons of different unique identifiers to identify your personal car?
Tesla, I don't know. Is this your authentication method where you never expected 2 identical make, model, and color Teslas to sit next to each other? Because if so, I've driven by your dealership. They're all freaking white.
Yeah.
I guarantee...
There's no firm handshaking going on here. That's what it is.
Right.
Weak handshakes.
Yeah. Well, have you seen Elon Musk? I mean, imagine how limp that one is. But yeah. I don't even know where to start with how many levels of wrong this is. That a cloud-connected service connected someone to the wrong vehicle and allowed them to drive it, and even after acknowledging it was the wrong vehicle, continue to allow them to drive it. I don't know how they put one Tesla owner in touch with the other Tesla owner. Hey, there was another white Tesla parked next to me. I'm assuming it was white. White Tesla parked next to me. He drove away with my car, and I'm sitting here with his car. Did he get to drive that car home? Like, did a Tesla representative go, okay, as a one-time courtesy, we'll let you drive someone else's car because we screwed up? Like, how does that happen?
I have no idea. I mean, the guy who probably thought his car was stolen might have called Tesla and say, hey, my car's gone. Where did it go? And they may have gave him.
Even so, that's a breach of personally identifiable information.
I don't know.
That is a data breach in and of itself. Giving out personally identifiable information, name and phone number, so they could message them and said, hey, you have my Tesla. It's one thing if Tesla
now
contacted them.
Does Tesla cars have messaging inside of itself?
I have no idea.
So I'm wondering if maybe they didn't text him on his phone, but through the car he was in.
It totally could be, but even still, that sounds far-fetched and like an extreme breach of security.
Yeah, it does seem like just an odd security glitch.
Right. I have no idea. GI Pilot says no messaging, no device.
Okay.
There is messaging in the app, but even still.
But still, they would have to be that user of that car.
Are they trying to create a social network? Hey, nice Tesla. Yeah, you too. Which is yours? Oh, I've got the S. It's the P80. Oh, I've got the P95. Oh, that's sweet, man. I thought about that one. Anyway, catch you later, bro. Like, is that all that app is? Unlock someone else's car and brag about which Tesla model you bought?
I'm trying to wonder, maybe, and this could be because the article doesn't really say.
Can I get the app if I have like a Kia EV6 or an Ioniq 6?
I'm thinking what happened, maybe what it is that it says he's a consultant, right? So maybe wherever he was working, he knew the other person who had this exact same car because they had the exact same car, and so when he left, maybe the other person just assumed it was him because he's the one that has his exact car. Because it didn't say if he was leaving from work. It wasn't like he was at, your local grocery store or anything. If they were at the same business, you work at a place long enough, you know who has what car, right?
Right.
Typically. And especially if they have your exact car.
Right.
You're like, oh, somebody else has this car too. So it could have been just a real quick Sherlock Holmes. Oh yeah, I know probably who has it. Let me go ask. That could be it. Just an Occam's razor type of a thing. It's the most simplest explanation. But it doesn't really have that detail in the article at all. So don't really know.
The article just says that they eventually got back together and they exchanged cars and a couple of laughs, and they didn't give the police report a number because no crime had actually been committed. So
no.
Yeah.
AI theft auto? I don't know.
Yeah. Someone says my guess is the dudes knew each other and the article just never mentioned it or something. That seems to make the most sense from that standpoint, because how else do you get a message that says, hey, did you drive my car?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? Yeah, there's a lot of unanswered questions there. I would love to hear the debrief, the post-mortem on this one from a security standpoint.
Oh, yeah. Because, I mean, the real big breach is like, why did the wrong car pull up?
Right. I mean, that was the first of the problems, but the problems didn't stop there.
No. Like some of the other stuff could be kind of explained, but the main one being, this is not my car.
Right.
Yeah.
This sounds like a TV sitcom. Yeah, this is the start to Perfect Strangers 2023, I guarantee you.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, a couple people chiming in, they would have to know each other. Yeah, that would be my only guess. Tesla could have facilitated the messages as a middleman. That would be acceptable, although still not what you would want to facilitate. As Tesla, you would want to literally become the middleman in that situation, contact the wrongful Tesla driver and say, can you please navigate back to that spot so you can exchange
Right.
cars with the proper owner. You don't want a situation to get violent, to get angry, aggressive, anything like that. As Tesla, as the one that screwed up, you need to do everything in your power to de-escalate the situation and not allow communication between those drivers. So this is how anime characters fall in love. Yeah, Ziggo wants to know, how's that Ur-Ying motherboard going, Jeff? I've had a blast with mine, minus the bottom NVMe slot not working. Both my NVMe slots work. I've actually tested it as such, and I actually used it today, and that's how I was able to get the 91.6 gigabit network throughput with an X16 100 gig network card. So that was fun. I do have two more Ur-Ying 11900H ES motherboards on the way that I'm planning on decommissioning an Epic server with. Ooh. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to take all of my VMs and go like, here, you run them at 40 watts. Should we do the first beer story first, or should I pour myself my second cocktail?
Are you done with your cocktail?
I literally just finished it.
Okay, yeah, then do another cocktail.
It's just a lemon wheel.
I'm almost done with my bourbon, so I might want to open a beer here while you're working on your cocktail.
Please, yeah. Go ahead and open your beer and tell everyone what it is. I'm gonna get some fresh ice.
I have, and I kind of covered this real quickly at the beginning. The black. There we are. The Black Butte 32. XXXII. And this is their high-end Black Butte. This is by Deschutes. And this one is a coffee stout with vanilla and aged in rum barrels. So I've had other series like this, and they are absolutely delicious. And I'm going to open this thing. Oh, and I can already smell it. It's awesome. I'm going to use my McDonald's Great Muppet Caper glass that if anybody grew up in the 80s probably had.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
That's the Big Butte?
Yep, the Black Butte.
Nice. All right. For the second cocktail of the night, I'm going to use this little fancy glass with a giant rock in it.
Oh, yeah.
This is another variation of the Manhattan, but this one is, again, just a little different enough you can call it a different drink. This is called a Scofflaw. SCOFFLAW. And it's, again, going to require an ounce of rye. Ounce and a half of rye. I'm going to use the Knob Creek rye. It's a good 100 proof rye.
It's a Scofflaw?
Scofflaw.
You don't want to have some like Monty Ballstones playing in the background while you're mixing it?
I probably should, if I'm being honest. We're going to use 1 ounce of vermouth. Again, I'm using the Martini and Rossi. It's kind of halfway between a dry and a sweet vermouth. I don't necessarily like sweet vermouth. I always tend to like mine on the drier side, and this is a nice middle ground. So, 1.5 ounces of rye, 1 ounce of vermouth. We're going to do... Oh, I forgot my grenadine. Hold on.
Oh, yeah, you can't forget that.
1 second here.
Pomegranate juice. Well, sweetened pomegranate juice. I had like a ton of grenadine once. My wife got a giant thing of grenadine at Costco once. I think we finally threw it out like a year ago. But we had it for like, I don't know, 8 years maybe.
So I actually make my own grenadine.
Oh, nice.
So this is, you make it just like simple syrup. And it's just 2-to-1 sugar to pomegranate juice.
You just buy some pom?
Yeah, just not pom, but some actual pomegranate juice.
Oh, so you get real pomegranate and juice it?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Pomegranates aren't the easiest thing to juice.
No.
But...
No, I tend to buy mine store-bought.
Yeah.
So 3/4 ounce of grenadine. And we're going to do 3/4 ounce of lemon juice. No, we're just going to squeeze the rest of the half the lemon in here. There we go. I was going to measure it out like a badass, but it's too messy.
Yeah, whatever.
There we go.
A little tartness never hurt nobody.
And finally, we're going to add 2 to 3 dashes of orange bitters. I'm using Regan's number 6 orange bitters for this. There we go. While I like the Angostura orange bitters, I like these ones a little bit more. Okay, and just like the first drink, we're going to stir this one. Get about 10 to 15 seconds or so. All right. And I prefer my Manhattans over a rock, so that's how I'm going to do this one too. And there you have a scofflaw.
That one actually sounds really good to me.
Yeah.
Just the ingredients all together sounds wonderful.
Dropping my strainer when I'm done. So yeah, it's a fairly simple cocktail. It's a little bit sweeter than a Manhattan with the grenadine in there, but you get a little bit of that citrus front. I'm
more intrigued about making your own grenadine syrup. That sounds good to me, because grenadine that you buy at the store,
the roses grenadine,
it's terrible.
It serves a purpose, but it's not what I would call a high-end cordial.
It's overly sweet, in my opinion.
The reason everyone thinks grenadine is cherry syrup is because it tastes like cough syrup cherry, but sweet with no NyQuil in it.
Yeah.
But no, grenadine is actually a pomegranate syrup.
Yes, yeah. It's supposed to be.
Right. So,
and pomegranate juice has a real, almost tangy, poignant flavor to it.
Super pointed flavor.
Yeah.
But you make it with, you mix it up with, 2 to 1 sugar, and it's actually pretty fantastic. So, yeah, it's not difficult, and it's actually, dare I say, less expensive to make your own pomegranate, or grenadine, orgeat, which is an almond syrup, and a couple others. I make them in little bottles like this, and you can do it. This is 8 ounces of... No, it's not even that. It's 6 ounces of pomegranate juice and right around 1.5 cups of sugar. And it almost perfectly fills this little glass that I got from IKEA for like $3.
Yeah. I've done my own ginger syrup before too, and that turned out excellent.
But anyway, scofflaw. There you go. I will take this over a Manhattan any day of the week, and as it might turn out today, twice on Wednesdays. That lemon and that citrus, I mean, even like way up on the nose, they totally lead the charge on this drink. The vermouth takes an absolute backseat, which I am not disappointed in the least. I always feel when it comes to the Manhattan and certain other drinks, the vermouth takes way too much of a leading role when it's supposed to be... You don't order a burger with onions and expect to bite into a whole ring of an onion, right?
Yeah.
It's a garnish, not an ingredient.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about vermouth.
Yeah, you don't want that flavor dominating. You want... In fact, if you make another one, if you like this one so much, you make another one, make it without the vermouth and see if you miss it. See if it's that much different.
Right. Well, at that point, a Manhattan's just a rye and bitters. Which is a fantastic cocktail.
That's fantastic drink, yeah.
But yeah, no, this is This is fantastic. This is I've had this drink many times. This is one of my favorite variants of the Manhattan.
I'm gonna bookmark that one because that sounds really good to me.
Yeah. And again, really simple to make. If you have the ingredients for Manhattan, you need grenadine and a lemon.
Well, I have all the ingredients, except I don't. The only grenadine I have is
the roses.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you went with like just over a quarter ounce, like this calls for 3/4 ounce grenadine, and with that pomegranate, it does add a little bit of a tartness to it, which I really appreciate in this drink.
That's what I like about it.
But if you have the amount of grenadine, if you went instead of 3/4, do like a 3/8, like a hair over a quarter, it would probably turn out pretty well with the roses.
I might have to try that.
Yeah. Novella sends over a $5 super chat. Thank you very much. How does your liquor cabinet compare to your brothers in Colorado, El Polo Diablo XX?
That's me.
Yeah. Well, is that you? Because I also have a YouTube subscriber, El Polo Diablo XX.
Oh, that's
I don't think that's you directly. I think that's an El Polo Diablo who lives in Colorado.
Oh, no. That's me.
Is that you? Okay.
That is me. Yeah, no, because I was in Denver last week, and my brother has a huge bourbon, whiskey, and Scotch library. And yes, mine pales in comparison to his. And I have some pictures. I'll post them up on the Discord later, so you can see all this stuff. He's got basically 3 drawers full of stuff and a side closet of rare and expensive bourbons and whiskeys.
Nice. Yep. Mine's doing pretty well. Like I said, a lot of rye. I have a taste. That's what it is. My cabinet's doing pretty well. I've got 2 complete full shelves, 2 rows. So I've got basically like a 3-foot shelf and a 4-foot shelf, and they're all jammed with bottles 2 deep.
Yeah, mine's only 2 deep, and it's maybe about 4 feet wide.
Yeah,
and mine's about 2 deep, so it's not huge, but it's it's enough to make most things.
Right. Like for Mixology March, one of my favorite things is like, what am I running low on that I want to kill? What bottle am I missing that I need to add? And it really lets me experiment with a lot of different varieties of cocktail that I normally wouldn't dive into, because if it's just me at home with dinner, we're having spaghetti, old fashioned. I'm not a complicated man when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like, ooh, I want to try like a new cocktail, I'm the only one in my house that drinks cocktails, outside of like some dessert cocktails. Like my wife will slay a Kahlua mudslide.
Yeah.
But
those are delicious. Yeah, those are delicious. It's like drinking a dessert.
Right. So, but when it comes to like gin or rye or even vodka-based cocktails and things like that, I'm the only one who ever drinks them. So if I have to go out and buy an exotic ingredient just to have a cocktail to myself,
it's just you.
It's just me.
Yeah. Yeah, and some of those exotic ingredients, they can add up. They get expensive. And it kind of sucks because it's like, I'm only going to use this maybe once or twice.
Yeah. Is it you or Rhett who talks about the cheapest Long Island?
That was me. That was me. We did that. Me and my wife did that. We got the bottom of the shelf just to figure out from scratch what it would cost to make a Long Island iced tea. And it ended up being like around $25-$30 or something like that. But it was not the best Long Island. I mean, it was fine.
Right.
But it wasn't good. It wasn't like, oh, this is the best thing ever. Because like, how Long Island iced teas are supposed to be so great because people drink it and they don't, even though there's a lot of alcohol in it, they don't taste the alcohol in it.
Right.
You tasted the alcohol in it. It was the cheap booze really shone through.
Yeah.
But it still tasted like a Long Island iced tea. So interesting experiment. It's fun.
Yeah.
But we didn't buy fists, we bought pints. So we didn't like.
That's not a bad way to go. I've definitely bought pints of some weird things that I needed. Although I do have on my shelf right now a full fifth of 110 absinthe, a full fifth of Midori, a
jeez.
full fifth of Campari. I've got 2/5 of orange liqueur, of various
Ooh.
orange liqueurs. I've also got a triple sec mixed in there, which is your dry
Yeah.
orange liqueur.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I've got a whole bunch of weird ones up there.
Yeah, blue curacao too. That's
I
that's
don't
another
have any
orange
blue
liqueur.
curacao.
Oh yeah.
It's one, and actually, I was looking at a cocktail the other day that called for it, so I might have to go out and find some blue curacao. Although, I'm not gonna freaking buy Bulls or whatever the other.
No. That's what. See, that's what, because Long Island iced teas call for triple sec.
Yeah.
And then we got the Bulls, which is the grossest schnapps ever. It's so disgusting.
At least get Monarch. Like,
no, I know Monarch's decamper is a good cheap.
Yeah.
Is a good cheap schnapps.
Yeah.
But yeah, stay away from Bulls.
Yeah.
Stuff's
No, I do have a couple Monarch bottles up here. I've got a Monarch bottle of peppermint schnapps, which is not a bad one to do.
Oh yeah.
And then I do have a triple sec that's a Monarch as well. So. Cosworth sends over $2. Thank you very much. This super chat brought to you by Muppet Jeff. Are we making fun of my Muppet cam over here? Is that what we're doing?
I did use my Muppet glass, my great Muppet caper glass.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, maybe.
Nice.
I don't know.
Cosworth also says you should make a super strong drink called the Manhattan Project. I like that name.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that could be. Yeah, drink a Manhattan Project while listening to the Manhattan Project by Rush. Ooh, there's a nightcap for you. Oh, that's good. Tech Geek sends over $50. Thank you very much, Tech Geek. Late to the party, just got home from work, but I made her this time. Cheers to you both. New Noodles and Company in town, so I have a peach cream soda tonight.
Oh.
I do like their sodas. I've got a serious bone to pick with Noodles and Company.
I have never been to a Noodles and Company. I've seen several of them, but I've never been.
So, ironically enough, my wife, who has celiac disease, which means she has an autoimmune disease that particularly reacts to gluten. There's other reactants in that disease as well, but gluten being a primary one, and celiac disease being a main driver of why you see gluten-free restaurants everywhere, and why Karens all over the country go like, "Oh, I don't eat gluten anymore. It's not healthy for you." It's because of celiac disease. It's because celiac disease started getting recognized as something that was afflicting people.
Yeah.
Sorry, somebody wants to say hi and get fucking kisses.
Okay. Can you take the reins for 20 seconds?
Yeah, sure.
Sorry.
I guess. I'm not too sure what you were talking about. Celiac disease. Well, I guess Noodles and Company. I've never been to Noodles and Company, but I kind of have a thing against going to like a lot of chain restaurants. I'm not really big on going to them. I usually like the local places, local taquerias or local food carts, those type of places. I'll try those first because usually they have much better, unique tasting stuff. Uh-oh. Hi, buddy.
And he's interested in my headphones right now.
Oh. He's like, oh, what's on there?
Hi, dude.
Is it bedtime?
It's bedtime.
He
needed his hugs and kisses.
Dip the pacifier in your cocktail there. I'll make him crash real quick.
Yeah, there you go. He's cool and dry, right?
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah, exactly. Maybe he'll finally go to bed.
Is he teething?
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
So there's a whole story to X, and I'm sure we'll talk about that one day, but probably not today. Anyway, let me hand him off. Say goodnight, X. Good night, X. Woo!
Good night.
Good night.
All right, where was I? Oh yeah, food. Yeah, so I've never been to Noodles and Company. The last new chain place that I went to eat was Mod Pizza. I didn't like it. I like the concept where you like, hey, I want this, this, and this, and this, and this on my pizza, and bake it for me. I thought that was neat, but I just didn't like the pizza. I never went to a Chipotle for years. It took me like, I don't know. It wasn't until like a friend of mine, his daughter worked there, and I got free Chipotle that I ever went to Chipotle.
Anyway,
Okay.
my wife has celiac, but that's actually not where my complaint's at. They make a gluten-free noodle. It's delicious. They're excellent to those kind of things. My complaint comes that New Year's Eve, my wife and I were driving. We were driving all over town, doing a whole bunch of different errands for things, and we had a New Year's Eve party that night. And it's like, well, we're not going to make it home in time to have dinner and then go to the New Year's Eve party. So let's just stop somewhere and get something. And she goes, oh, there's the Noodles & Co. Sweet. So we stopped there. She got some noodles. Absolutely fantastic. I ordered the orange chicken. Okay. What do you think when I say orange chicken?
You think like a
paint me a picture of orange chicken.
Orange chicken is like a breaded chicken chunks with a sweet, tangy orange sauce. A little savoriness in there too. Some soy sauce in there. That's what I think an orange chicken is.
Right.
Yeah.
Is orange chicken microwaved chicken nuggets with like an orange glaze on them?
It is to my 6-year-old.
I'm asking you.
No.
Specifically you. If you ordered orange chicken and they took 4 microwave chicken nuggets and cut them in half and put what wouldn't pass at a Chinese restaurant as an orange sauce over the top of them, over the top of my lo mein, and called it an orange chicken, would you be satisfied?
No.
Neither was I.
Maybe this would be like if I was late and I wanted orange chicken and I was drunk and I couldn't and everything was closed, I might hobble that together.
If I was drunk and stoned out of my mind and I got chicken nuggets on lo mein, like I'm celebrating. But I was not. I was quite hungry.
I would complain. Yes,
and I compare Noodles & Co. anymore to like going to Panda Express. I feel like Chinese food. And then you go and have Panda Express, and then you come out and go, now I really need some Chinese food because that was not it. Yeah.
Well, while you were gone, I was talking about how I tend to avoid like the chain restaurants usually because I'm usually kind of disappointed in most of them. I still go to some, but not that many.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never been to a Noodles & Company.
Yeah.
I've just recently gone to a Mod Pizza.
Yeah, I try to avoid chain as much as possible. Like there's a couple. We get pizza from Papa Murphy's and Domino's, but that's only because there's not a genuine local pizzeria that's near us.
Well, we used to go to, well, you know, I mean, I might be giving up location, but Abby's Pizza, right? They used to be really good, and that's where we used to primarily go to for pizza.
But now it's $32 for a pie.
Well, it's not only that, they changed their ingredients. And it doesn't taste the same anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah.
I will say their barbecue pizza is still on point. I've had that recently, and it's still there. So,
well, I also picked up one of those Uni pizza ovens, and I've been making my own, and I've been trying to perfect the dough.
Nice.
And, I've gotten it good a couple times, but my first attempt was like, oh, this is way too chewy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting better.
But no, like if we're talking pizza, I will go local chain 9 times out of 10.
Oh yeah,
if it's around. The problem is I don't have one I don't have any local pizzerias near me. I know there's a couple downtown, but they are a nightmare to get to, and they don't do gluten-free stuff. And so like in my family, that really just doesn't fly.
That's probably the most important thing for you.
Right. And again, that's you have to balance chain with allergens.
Right. No, yes, of course. Yeah, because I if you go to like some local place, they might not offer a gluten-free option at all.
Right.
And chances are they probably won't.
Since we're on the topic of pizza, and holy crap, I feel like pizza now. French bread pizza. It's one of my favorite things in the world.
Oh yeah.
You go to your local grocery store, you get a fresh cooked French bread at 4 p.m. You take it home, you quarter it. One lengthwise, one down the middle. You got 4 pieces of French bread. You top it like a pizza. You
Mhm.
you do marinara, you do pepperoni, you do mozzarella, you do
Mhm.
bacon and
Fresh,
pineapple
fresh,
and chicken,
fresh Parmesan,
and
whatever you want. Yeah,
Parmesan and
yeah.
whatnot. You throw that sucker in the oven, you let it melt, and holy crap!
Oh yeah, that stuff's good.
Yeah,
Super easy, super delicious. You gotta get the kind of pepperoni that cups up.
yeah.
It's kind of little pools of grease
Little pools of
inside.
grease.
That's the kind of pepperoni you gotta get. You know it's good pepperoni when it does that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We do have a local chain of Chinese restaurants. They're about equidistant from me. They're about 20 minutes each direction. And it's some of the best Chinese food I've ever had.
Well, that's good. Yeah, we're in a Chinese food desert. We have a few Thai places that are decent.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have lots of.
You do have the Mexican Chinese restaurant.
Yes, we do.
Which
yes.
is actually not too bad.
Yes, we do. It's not. Yeah, that's what I said. That was one of them. That was pretty decent.
Yeah,
and it's not just straight Chinese because it's kind of a mix of Japanese, Chinese, and Thai.
It's kind of like a Tex-Mex, but
yeah.
But I don't know the word that I can say that I wouldn't be canceled for to describe what it is.
Yeah, because they offer pad Thai,
right?
They offer yakisoba, and they also offer like a chow mein,
and they have teriyaki. They have
teriyaki, yeah,
right. And
it's just got like everything.
And it's delicious.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I like the Thai cart that we have over here. That's pretty good for Thai food. But yes, you're right. Tacos galore. Tacos, burritos, tortas, any kind of Mexican food you can think of. We have a Mexican restaurant here dedicated to just soup.
Yeah.
The Casa de Caldos, the House of Soup. And it's good. It's good.
It's really good.
It's really good. Oh man, the lengua soup they have was so good.
Yeah. No, the food in your neck of the woods, that's one thing I miss is the carts and the 5 or 6 local restaurants that I used to go to all the time and things like that. Like I really like it where I live now. Like I'm right next to downtown. I've got all the tap houses and breweries right next to me, and I Ubered to a tap house on a whim because Steve goes, "Hey, we're down the road," and I went, "Cool, I'll be there in 5," and that was awesome.
Yeah,
but
that was fun.
But man, I miss the tacos.
Oh yeah, no, the tacos locally are great. In fact, there's just one right around the corner now. It's just right at the corner of 99 right there.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yep. All right, on to our beer news for the night. Coors Light debuts popsicles.
Right.
Otter Pops for grown-ups.
Well, yes and no. If you go read the article, it actually says they're non-alcoholic. So they're not even they don't have a smidgen of alcohol in them.
And I've got to say, what's the damn point then?
Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying.
No one drinks Coors for the taste, okay?
Right, exactly. Even if it's ice cold, because this is obviously ice cold because it's frozen.
Right.
So this is NA Coors Light, which automatically sounds disgusting. And they turned it into an Otter Pop. And then to add more insult to injury, they're going to charge you $20 for it.
$20 for 6 Otter Pops.
Six.
I don't know if you've been to Costco lately, but you can get the margarita pops that are like 12 packs for $8.
Yeah.
That actually have alcohol in them.
Yeah. You could probably do the same thing with Coors Light. You just take some Coors Light, boil it to the point where all the alcohol boils off.
Yeah.
And then just freeze it. Freeze it in a little Auto Pop container, and you got this exact same thing. And then you go out and charge $20 to people for 6 of them.
Right. I don't understand this. Like,
no, I don't understand
the one appeal of Coors Light is that at least I'll be drunk if I drink enough of them.
Yeah. And that would be the appeal
and
of
you've
this.
Taken the one thing away and then frozen it.
Right. And there's a thing too that could be interesting. It could have been interesting. Because like if you ever watch John's channel, he did do that experiment with cold distillation.
Yeah.
Where you freeze distillation. Where you freeze it and then the core stays the same.
Yeah, common method to make Applejack and a number of different spirits.
Exactly.
Like that. Yeah.
Exactly. They could have done that with this. It's like, hey, it's got an alcohol center, a chewy, like, it's a chewy alcohol center or whatever. So you could have kept the alcohol in it, and then maybe the $20 would have been worth it. But no, I think doing away with that was like, nope, don't move. No one's gonna buy this.
Right.
Why would they want this? I mean, maybe as a novelty, probably.
That's $3.50 per Otter Pop.
I know. It's ridiculous.
That's legit
and
like
at least-
encroaching on 6-pack Coors Light territory. You could
And the
buy
Otter-
a 6-pack of Coors Light
Yes.
or have a non-alcoholic, crappy-tasting Coors Light Otter Pop for the same price.
And the Otter Pops at least have the little cartoon thing in the front. This doesn't even have a little cartoon drunk otter on the
Right,
front.
at least give me the drunk otter with the backstory.
I want a drunk otter on the front.
Like, this is Sebastian Strawberry and...
And this is, what would it be? Drunky Daryl or something. I don't know.
Are we just going to give Tucker
Inebriated Igor.
Carlson another inanimate or animal object to sexualize?
Yeah, of course. It's a sexy drunk otter.
First the green M&M and now this.
That's what America needs.
Right. America needs him to shut the fuck up. Elmas sends over $2. How about no Coors? I'm on board for that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Like even like a frozen like porter, even if it's non-alcoholic, would kind of make sense because that has a different flavor, right? But Coors Light, it doesn't even taste
I love
good.
the comments that are rolling in right now that I cannot say on air. Y'all are nasty. New Holland.
Actually, here's something though.
Yeah.
Springle says, I'm sad now. I can't drink due to medication. And don't tell me non-alcoholic beer is an option. Any suggestions during the fun? Actually, non-alcoholic beer, go for
Athletic Brewing. Yeah.
Athletic Brewing. Their non-alcoholic options are actually really good.
And actually,
They don't taste like crap.
right. Yeah, they actually have an IPA that tastes like an IPA.
It does.
Also next week on this show, I was planning on doing some NA spirits, some NA spirit cocktails.
Do you want to take the NA spirits I have? Because they're gross.
I'll take them.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
This has gone from
I've got two
from
bourbons and a gin.
Yeah.
And one of the bourbons isn't terrible. In fact, it kind of scratches that itch if I need an old fashioned at like 9 a.m. Like it's totally
Right.
serviceable. The gin is definitely more of like crabgrass than rye and botanicals.
See, I think gin would have been the easiest to make.
Gin should
a
be the
non-alcoholic.
easiest. It really
yeah,
should.
because it's mostly botanicals.
It's
And you could just
juniper
steep
and
that-
spruce and a little bit of ryegrass and you're good
Yeah.
to go. Like
All you have to do is kind of get the viscosity, you get the thickness up of
Mhm.
whatever that liquid is. You can't do it with sugar because that would make it too sweet.
right.
I don't know, xanthan gum. I don't know. There's something in there to make it just thicken it up.
Yeah.
And you just put the same botanicals in there that you would put in a gin, and it
I think it would work.
non-alcoholic gin.
Right.
Yeah, it should work. I shouldn't see why that would be so hard.
Yeah, I do love a good mocktail, but my problem is most mocktails focus on trying to trick people into thinking that they're drinking cocktails, which
Yeah.
doesn't work. Like
Right.
a mocktail to me is a mixture of beverages that does away with the desire to drink or the idea that I want to drink, but it's not exactly chasing an old fashioned or a Manhattan or a whiskey sour or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's chasing a completely different flavor profile. Like,
Mhm.
don't try to align yourself with bourbon because you're never going to reach it. Try to align yourself
you can't get that.
instead with a fruit juice or with something else.
Yeah.
One of my favorite mocktails is a ginger beer and cranberry juice.
Oh yeah, those are great. I love just like like strong ginger. Like
Real
ginger-
strong ginger, a little
real
bit of
strong
cranberry.
ginger.
You get that bite. It's a drink that you can pour over a rock and just kind of sit there and
Yeah.
sip,
Oh yeah,
and it's delicious.
and a lot of times it's just having that drink in your hand.
Right.
It's not necessarily like, okay, I missed that bourbon or worse. Sometimes I do,
Right.
but yes, if I'm cutting it out for like a week or a month, anything like that, that's
Yeah.
primarily what I'll do. Is I'll do mocktails and I'll put a lot of ginger and stuff because it's got that bite. Refreshing. It's delicious.
Springle says, I've never tried a mocktail. What is it? It's a cocktail, but NA. And so don't think of it like beer. like non-alcoholic beer, like, oh, I'm gonna get a beer but with no flavor,
Mhm.
or I'm gonna get like just hopped water or something like that.
Mhm.
A mocktail can be something as simple as ginger beer and cranberry juice, or a Shirley Temple, where
Yeah.
it's grenadine and cola. You know,
Yeah.
it's a drink that you can put in front of you that is a mixed drink
Mhm.
that isn't necessarily trying to replicate alcohol. It's simply mashing up flavors that are kind of counter to one another or complement each other well. And so you're not going to get your gin and tonic, but there's no reason you couldn't do a ginger beer and grapefruit and
Yeah.
experience something completely different that still kind of fills that need and scratches that itch.
Yeah. If you ever, like, when you were younger, went to a fast food chain where they had like serve yourself drinks and you made the fast food grog where you put like every soda in one cup, congratulations, you made yourself a mocktail. That's basically what it
Yep.
is.
We used to
You're
call it a
mixing things.
graveyard.
Great. Oh, graveyard. Okay.
Graveyard,
Yeah,
yeah.
we called it fast food grog, but yeah.
Yep. No, my favorite thing was to go to the Taco Bell near where I was growing up because they had the soda machine. And God, now I sound like I was born in the
Well,
60s. Freaking hell.
okay, but but they had all the different flavors of Mountain Dew.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
didn't have a soda jerk. We got to serve it ourselves.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah. You get the Baja Blast mixed in with Code Red and the original. Plus, you can pour some Pepsi and Dr. Pepper on top of that. Oh, now we're talking, son.
That's right. That goes great with the old 59, 79, 99 menu that they had.
Yep. Yeah, remember when soft
59
tacos were 79 cents?
Oh my God, yes I
They're
do.
$2.39 now.
I know.
$2.39.
I know. Man, I used to just get a bag full of tacos and burritos, and it only cost me like less than $5.
Yeah, you know what's amazing is I was a teenager in Seattle, and I had my lunch menu plus tax down to a science.
Yeah.
Where I would order a certain number of tacos and a large drink, and my total was $5.55.
Yeah.
Every time.
Oh, and it was a pile of tacos too.
It was like 3 or 4 tacos. Like,
yeah.
They didn't skimp on the tacos, and the drink was like $1.40.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I miss old Taco Bell. Taco Bell now is just, I don't know. Maybe it's I did go to a different Taco Bell. Oh gosh, it's been years.
The one by the freeway is not great. You got to go out of town to get.
No, it was an out of town one. The one close to me is not good either. So that's why I don't go to Taco Bell that much anymore. And why would I? I got so many other great taquerias.
They also charge like 20% extra.
Yeah,
I don't know if you noticed that, but you go to Taco Bell and it's like, yeah, I'll take these things that are $1 a piece. Okay, that'll be $2.70. Like, that's not what I signed up for.
Yeah. No, I know.
Yeah, Taco Bell by me is $20 to buy my family dinner. Taco Bell by you is $35 to buy my family dinner.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's because
menu.
it's close to the freeway, maybe?
Yeah.
That's my only guess.
12-pack of tacos is $20 now. That used to be $9.99.
Yeah, I know.
Of course, Carl's Jr. used to have a $6 burger too.
Yeah,
that was only
they don't
$4.
call it $6. Yeah.
They don't use that term anymore.
I don't think they do.
They do not. It's now the gourmet burger or the restaurant burger or something like that.
Burger?
And yeah, they start at like $9.
Oh God. Yeah.
I love when my dad starts waxing poetic about inflation as if it's like, oh, it's only 50% every generation or something like that. And it's like, Dad, like, it's tripled in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Like, in my lifetime, I paid $1 for a gallon of gas as a driving citizen with a license and a car.
Right.
It's now $4.39. But please tell me how difficult it was to buy a house for $70,000. Sorry, I think his first was $89,000.
No, hey, my first house was under $100,000.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for closing the door behind you.
Yeah.
We don't want to talk about, like, my house today was beyond McMansion money when you bought your first house.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I bet.
And it's a nice house. Like,
no, it is nice.
Like, I really like my house, but this is not the house that this amount of money buys.
No.
Yep. 4th major financial crisis since 2000. Guess how long I've been an adult?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I saw that and I'm like, gosh, you know what? It's already bank failing season. I still have my train derailment decorations up.
Right.
I didn't know I had to switch to bank failing season.
Yeah. We got Pi Day yesterday and St. Patty's
Oh
Day on
yeah,
Friday.
Pi Day,
Like,
yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do for St. Patty's Day.
yeah.
Well, I'm gonna stay home.
Coming up to my tap house, I'll Uber down.
Yeah, I that's the thing is I can't. My wife is leaving, so I have to stay home.
Ah.
Yeah, she's going up with an annual sisters / my sister's birthday,
Yep.
sister-in-law's getaway type of a thing.
Yeah. Here's how old I am. I'm not old, but here's how old I am. I once filled my Geo Metro running on vapor for $9.40.
Oh, the Geo Metro, dude, that was like a lawnmower on wheels.
I then drove 500 miles.
Yeah, no, Geo Metros.
I drove
Were ugly
500
cars.
miles for $9.40.
They were plastic cars with a lawnmower engine.
Yep.
That
My
looked like
first
garbage.
car was a 93 Geo Metro 2-door hatchback. 1 liter
But they were,
automatic.
yeah.
It was
the
the worst
were,
of the bunch.
Oh yeah.
The only
but
thing
they
worse would have
sipped on
been the
gas.
4-door
Yeah.
with the automatic. Like,
Yeah, my friend had one of those, and they were not.
I got
were
followed
not
home by
eye
the
catchers.
cops one time because I did 67 and a 55, and the cop pulled into my front driveway after following me home and said, "How'd you get that thing up that fast?"
He's like, I'm not giving you a ticket. I feel sorry for you.
Right.
driving this."
I said it must have been a tailwind, and he laughed and
Yeah,
drove
I
off.
know. I had my back to the wind. That's how I got that speed.
I wasn't looking at the speedometer because what's the point?
Yes, usually when I go that fast, it starts shaking apart.
Yeah. It would shake at 70.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Not just like the I need new tires shake, but like death wobble shake.
Oh yeah. This is like it's gonna realign your back shake.
Right. Cosworth sends over $2. This chat brought to you by A Boring Dystopia. Yeah,
That's
we're totally there.
that's right.
What's not a boring dystopia is New Holland has announced some new Dragon's Milk flavors, and I don't know if
Mhm.
I've ever been more excited for some beer announcements than I am for one of these.
Yeah, me too. And we're big fans of Dragon's Milk.
Yes.
As regular viewers are. No.
Right.
But the only problem is we tend not to get these specialty flavors.
Right.
That's the bad part.
Right. I saw they came out with a red. I
it's
literally
gonna be-
yelped out loud.
That's gonna be great. A good red is absolutely delicious.
A good
they're-
red, but Dragon's Milk plus barrel aging. Oh,
Oh man, it's gonna be good.
like my favorite red ale is probably a Dawn of the Red from Ninkasi.
Oh yeah, terrific
it-
beer.
It's a Northwest hopped red. It's
Yeah,
it's
very
kind of a
hop forward.
derivative flavor profile. Like, yes, it's a red ale, but it's also kind of an IPA, but it's not really an IPA because it's super malty, but also it has a hop profile, so it's not really a red ale. Like give me an English red and add just a little bit of back hopping to it, and it's fantastic. And that's
Oh,
what
yeah.
Dawn of the Red is. And there's a couple different ones around here like that. But I saw bourbon barrel aged red ale from Dragon's Milk.
Gotta get it.
All of
Gotta
my
find it.
Michigan peeps who are watching right now, or who will be watching, or who I will talk to in the Discord later on tonight, I need this.
Yes.
I need this like I've never needed another beer before.
Well, this is Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, any of those.
Yeah.
Any of those places.
Yeah.
Anybody in those places.
Not only that, it's still 11%. This
Man,
red ale is still 11%. I can't get a red ale beyond 7.
I've had some double reds, but I've never had one 11.
I've never had a double digit. I've had like an 8.2 or something like that.
I
and-
think even because like usually Avery Brewing in Colorado,
Yeah.
most of their stuff is like all double digit. And even their red, I don't think was 11. I think their red was like 9 or 10.
Right. Yeah. And yes, Steve's webcam is glitching out. It's
Yes,
just
it's
the
glitching.
webcam.
I discovered this right before we started the stream and just didn't have time to troubleshoot it. So
Yeah.
just got to live with being in the Matrix for now.
Yeah. There's also the Taste of Gold, which is the golden ale bourbon barrel aged.
Yeah, and that'd be interesting. I don't know if I've ever had a barrel aged golden.
I don't think I have either. Like I've definitely had reds and I've definitely had golden ales. I don't know that I've ever had either style that's barrel aged.
I've had a bourbon barrel aged red before, and it was really good, but it wasn't a double. It was just It was who did it? I can't remember. I have to go look on Untapped, but I know I've had one before.
Yeah,
I grabbed it because I found it so interesting.
I don't think I have, because if I see red ale on the menu, I will usually jump at it, and I don't remember any instance of me ordering a barrel aged red or opening a barrel aged red. So, yeah, Steve is AI generated tonight.
I am tonight. Yeah.
Yep.
Very, very realistic.
Could it be the green screen? No, because it's actually tearing the image.
Yeah. No, it's not the green screen.
He's over here, and now he's over here for one frame.
I tested it outside of Zoom. I tested it on just the straight up Microsoft camera, and it was glitching there too. So
yeah.
it's either the camera itself or something with Windows. I don't know.
Could be USB, sure. Could be the UVC driver, could be a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Either way, he's channeling Epos Vox.
Yeah. Just need to put some techno behind me, and then it's gonna make it just right.
Which reminds me of the intro you got to do for Epos Vox's channel. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
Epos's Vox coverage of CES is brought to you by Corsair, Elgato, and this guy.
And this
Jesus
guy.
Christ.
Like what? That was really fun.
Oh, that was so great.
Oh, Steve Hedrum, boy, that's an old reference too.
Yeah,
I thought my Talking Heads reference earlier was old.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to, you could just call him Jeeves. That's what the rest of us do.
Mm-hmm.
Will that be all, sir? Yeah.
Yeah, this is old.
Another beer that I have to have. Firestone Parabola. It's probably my favorite annual release of any beer, especially Firestone. Yeah. Like it goes straight to the top of my Firestone list.
Oh yeah.
The 23 Parabola and Paraboloid. They have a trio of beers coming out in 2023 that are aged in Blanton's, Weller's, and what was the other one?
Elijah Craig.
Thank you.
Elijah Craig.
Yeah.
The Blanton's one should be interesting.
Yeah.
I've seen Elijah Craig bourbon barrel aged, and I've never seen Blanton's before though.
Yeah.
I've never seen.
No, I think Elijah Craig they did in like 2018, and I had that bottle, and it was amazing. But Blanton's, Weller, Elijah Craig is coming to Parabola Firestone in 2023.
Yeah. I guarantee you they're going to be, the Blanton's is going to be the highly sought after one.
Oh, I imagine.
I mean, it's already a highly sought after, bourbon.
Well, you could go Weller as far as that too. Like over here, it's really weird because I never considered Weller like a boutique brand before, but apparently it's like gangbusters in the Midwest and the East Coast. Oh gosh, yeah.
I was just talking. I have a friend whose son is in the Navy.
It is always on the shelf, and it's like a $25 to $30 bourbon. Like it's not exotic at all.
That's exactly what we were talking about. He was stationed in San Diego for a while, and his father told him, "Hey, go pick up a bottle of Eagle Rare," which Eagle Rare is excellent. Yeah. And we can get it here fairly. I mean, sometimes it's hard to find, sometimes it's pretty easy, but for the most part, it's not an expensive whiskey. It's like $35-$40.
Yeah, right around 40 is what I've seen it for.
It's not horrible. Down there in San Diego, it was almost $100.
Yeah,
for the same bottle, and that's crazy because usually you equate California with cheap liquor, right?
Right. At least we do in Oregon.
At least we do in Oregon. Yeah, there's literally a discount liquor store right over the border. As soon as you cross the Oregon border,
there's one on I-5 and there's one on 101.
Yeah,
The one
they're
on
right
101
there.
is my favorite. It's called Last Chance Liquor.
I've never been to that one.
Yeah, that one's my favorite one, and I think I told this story last week. But I was walking. My daughter had to go to the bathroom. We were on a road trip, and so it's like we pulled over right before the Oregon border, and there's this little parking lot and a little beach access right there. And then on the other side of the 101, hey, look, there's a liquor store. You know what? We're still in California. I might as well go peruse while we're taking care of things. So I walked in there, and I'm like, oh, they got this one on the shelf. Cool. So I grabbed a bottle. And then I'm like, oh, they got this one too. Like, that's a really good price.
Sounds
so
good.
I grabbed that. And then one of the clerks walks up and goes, oh, hey, I'll hold those up at the counter for you. And took the bottles away and placed them on the counter. And I literally went, I have 2 free hands now.
Yeah, I'm going to fill these 2 hands.
Right. I like this place.
There was
every time I put a second bottle in my hand, the clerk would be right behind me going, oh, I'd be happy to hold those for you at the counter, sir. I left after spending like $300.
Oh yeah. So you know my old neighbor, of course, you know, I don't want to say his name, but he used to be a volunteer fireman in Washington, and his in-laws live in Chico, California. So every summer they take a trip down there and visit their in-laws, and they always stop off at the discount liquor store just right across I-5. And when he was down there, he was there and he ran into somebody he knew when he was a voluntary fireman. He was a fireman in Washington, in Spokane, actually. And he was there with one of those tiny box U-Hauls, because liquor there is so much cheaper than it is in Washington that they take a U-Haul, drive from Spokane, Washington, all the way down to Northern California, buy thousands of dollars worth of booze, and drive it back because it's cheaper. They basically do a yearly trip.
Yeah.
Because it's cheaper that way. And then they have like booze for a year, basically. Yeah. And that's what they do, because it's that much cheaper.
Yep. Yes. I've made that trip a couple of times.
Yes,
not the
I have
Spokane
too.
to Chico, but
No. But no. I mean, when I go to
Oregon
California,
border,
when I go to California, it's like, discount liquor. Yeah, I think I can need a bathroom break.
There's an Oregon-grown comedian named Dwight Slade who does a joke about the Oregon-California border. He goes, whenever you pass through there, you have to go through a border check to get into California. And the reason you have to do that is they're trying to keep fruit flies out, because they don't want the fruit flies to devastate the wine industry because of all the grapes and vineyards in Northern California. And so you pull up to the Oregon-California border going towards California, and he goes, it's always like this 96-year-old geriatric going, you got any fruit in the vehicle? He goes, one time I just want to drive up chewing in an apple core going,
nope. What are you gonna do about it?
Right. Come at me, old man.
Yeah.
Yeah. He used to have this entire like 5-minute bit that he would do on the Oregon-California border.
Yeah. I think they still, I mean, it's been a while since they crossed over the border. They still do that, I think.
Yes, they do.
Which is kind of weird because,
do you have any fruit?
Oregon,
no, go on ahead.
Oregon has just as big of a wine industry as California
hops,
does now.
Like Oregon is an agricultural state still.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
More
on the vice side
you're driving
of things,
from California to Oregon, you just buzz through the border. Like there's no gate, there's no stop, there's no.
We grow hops. We do grapes for wine. We do most of the grass for golf courses.
We do
all
cherries.
Over the world.
We do
cherries,
apricots,
apples,
pears. What we call Marion berries.
Yep.
Blackberries. It's blackberries to everyone else. It's Marion berries to us.
Blackberries are a nuisance around here.
They
There's
are.
So many blackberries.
Filberts. Sorry, hazelnuts.
Yeah. Hazelnuts, filberts. Yeah.
We call them filberts. They're hazelnuts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the distinction is filberts are cultivated and hazelnuts are wild.
Kind of.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I think I remember someone telling me that once.
Yeah. But we grow them, so they're filberts.
We grow them. Yes, the filberts. Yeah.
$2 super chat from Tech Geek. Thank you very much. D's nuts. Got him. I don't know what that was in reference to because it was a couple minutes ago.
I don't know what it was.
Cosworth, $2. I would not trust anyone from Washington, more so Southwest Washington. Right, you get close to that, like, Astoria border, it gets a little sketchy.
Oh, yeah.
And Tech Geek sends over another $5. No one really is named Lance anymore, but back in medieval times, people used to be named Lance a lot.
A lot. In a roundabout way.
Points. Literally walked right into that one.
Yeah.
Tech Geek sends over another $5. Do you ever see Mount Rushmore before it was carved? Its natural beauty is unprecedented.
Tech Geek is Googling dad jokes.
What's blue but smells like red paint?
I don't know.
Blue paint. That's my
terrible.
favorite.
That's terrible. Yeah, there's this guy that I work with, and I work from home, so all our meetings are virtual.
Yeah.
But every meeting I have with this guy, he always ends it with a dad joke. Every single time he ends it with a dad joke.
Yep.
It's kind of funny.
Let's see. What do you call a person on a swing with no arms or legs?
I know what you call a person sitting on their doorstep with no arms and no legs. And I know you call someone in a swimming pool with no arms and no legs.
Yeah, no, it's not the swimming pool joke. What do you call someone on a swing with no arms and no legs?
I'm gonna say, I don't know. It's escaping me. It's got to be obvious.
Sarah. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Sarah.
Okay, it's going somewhere.
No. Knock knock. She doesn't have arms or legs.
Oh, she's got her legs. Okay, I got knock knock. I got you. There you go.
Is there any doubt that I'm a father of 3? Like,
oh yeah. I love the little kid stage where they make up their jokes that make no sense.
yes.
They're like, yeah.
Little Bit is the best at that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say a joke that's been set up a million times before. And then I'm gonna say a punchline that's been told a million times before, but none that match.
Yeah. They don't get the humor yet.
Right. Yeah, the connection is lost.
Right.
And so they understand that it's funny, and they understand the setup, and they understand the payoff. They don't understand how to get the payoff from the setup.
Right.
And she is freaking adorable when she does it, because she makes herself laugh when she does it.
Yeah.
And so she'll go, "Why did the chicken cross the road?" And you go, "Why?" And she'll go, gosh, like, what's one of hers?
Because the cow ate it or something like that.
Right.
Something
and she'll go, she'll like, do the payoff to, what do you
like
call someone in a
sequitur.
swimming pool with no arms and no legs, because Bob is how she finishes her jokes. It's adorable.
The complete non sequiturs.
Yes.
They crack me up.
Yeah. T-Mobile scoops up owner Ryan Reynolds.
Yes.
And sorry, not scoops up Mint Mobile owner Ryan Reynolds. Backed Mint Mobile for $1.35 billion. So Ryan Reynolds has sold Mint Mobile for $1.35 billion. It's no wonder my ad wasn't approved with this change in management.
Yeah. Or maybe they were so mad. He was so mad that they rejected your ad. He's like, I'm just selling.
Right, he's so pissed off with, like, we can't even hire this guy. Like,
that was the perfect ad. Why did you guys? You guys suck. I guess sell you guys. That's what it was.
1.35 billion.
I know. He's a billionaire.
You would not have called that when Green Lantern came out.
No, absolutely not. You're like, he's a flash in the pan actor. He ain't going nowhere.
I mean, he had 2 guys, a girl, and a pizza place. which is my favorite reference because no one ever remembers he did a sitcom for like 4 years.
I know, and it wasn't like top, but it was fairly.
It was
popular.
reasonably funny.
Yeah.
If you think about the sitcoms that it was airing against, if you think of like Dharma and Greg,
Right.
and then like NYPD Blue and shows like that, it held its own.
Yeah, no, it was. If you watch those episodes, you definitely see, the origins of Deadpool and stuff that, because he kind of plays almost the same type of, cocky character,
right?
Type of guy.
Right.
Ryan Reynolds is Ryan Reynolds. I mean,
there's
a reason why
his humor 25 years ago was the same thing you see today, just slightly less refined, and I say only slightly.
Yeah.
But yeah, you see him do Green Lantern, and you're like, oh, this dude's career's over. Like he had a good run. Better go to stand-up comedy or become a writer. Like that's your future. No. Now he has well over $1 billion.
Yeah, $1 billion and lots of gin, as much gin as he can drink.
Yep. Tech Geek, $2. Orion's belt is just a big waste of space.
That's right. It's true.
Yeah. Cosworth, $2. What does a baby computer call his father? Data.
Yeah, data. Data or data. I say data. That makes more sense. Yeah. For the joke, anyway.
Well, one is my name, the other is not. All right. I'm either going to pour myself another cocktail or we're going to talk some episode 4 of Star Trek Picard.
Yes, I actually do have some reserve beer here.
Sweet.
So I might pour myself some of that.
You're not driving anywhere.
No, I am not going anywhere tonight. I'm flying Enterprise right now, so
right.
I can just tell someone else. This is not synthahol. That was okay. That's one thing I have to say about New Trek here. All right, they're obviously not drinking synthahol in that bar.
No,
they're not, because they're getting wasted.
Right.
Picard and Riker are getting wasted. So that's not synthahol.
Well, no, Picard and Riker were on Earth at the time.
Yes, they were on Earth,
which wouldn't serve synthahol. Synthahol was mandated by Starfleet to be served on starships, which gives it a similar flavor, but doesn't have the intoxicating effects.
That didn't stop Scotty though, but he smuggled that in though.
Right,
he did hide that.
Scotty. Didn't stop Riker from bringing in Romulan ale. It didn't stop Mariner from getting the same. Like they're still like you bring it on the ship, right?
Yeah.
It didn't stop Guinan from bringing her stuff on, and it seems not to have stopped Picard from bringing on wine or Captain Shaw from bringing on his own vintage of wine that he preferred.
So this is like, it was a rule, but Federation didn't really care that much because it was kind of like everyone's breaking it anyway.
Right.
If
you go to the official bar on a spaceship, you're going to get synthahol. If you talk to the right people, you can get some Aldebaran whiskey. Anyway, I don't really want to spoil too much of the story because the story is amazing, but I want to focus on that holodeck scene. So, I'm not going to say who, but there's a character in there who Picard wants to get to know a little bit better. And so they walk onto the holodeck and he goes, "Can I have 5 minutes of your time?" And he goes, "How about a glass of Chateau Picard? We make this ourselves and whatnot." And he goes, "I'm really more of a whiskey guy. The cheaper, the better." All right, let's have some whiskey on the rocks. So he pours a bottle of whiskey in there, sharing a bottle of whiskey. And by the way, they're in a desolate situation.
Wait. Back to our original thing. So, yes, you're right. It was in a desolate situation, and the power was going out. But they even explained that the holodeck had a separate power for this particular type of situation, so people can gather because it was very dire. It was like, say your goodbyes, have your last meal, your last drink.
Yep.
Do you think at that point they stopped serving synthahol? Because it is a Federation.
I guarantee anyone who had a bottle brought it to the holodeck. Like in my mind's mind, that's what I'm imagining. It's like, well, I might as well drink this now.
I would think in that type of situation they would stop serving synthahol. They
Right.
would just like, all right, just
Yeah. All right, whiskey
just
out.
all,
Let's go.
all yeah.
Yeah.
90 proof, 101 proof.
We doing
Let's
Jaeger
go for it.
shots. Let's get this done.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Once more into the fray. Last good fight I'll ever know. Right.
But if there's multiple, there's got to be multiple. Well, let's see, because there's going to be a bar scene for those type of situations. But you also got to know there's probably a holodeck reserved for like orgies or something like that, because like, you know, you got two different mindsets going on here.
Right.
They can't show that one on Picard, obviously. Maybe in Lower Decks they might show something.
Right. Anyway, there was actually some Lower Decks inspired stuff in
Yes, there was.
in season 3 so far, but Picard's trying to have 5 minutes of time with someone he wants to get to know a little better.
Correct.
And they're in a death spiral. They're like, you're going to be crushed by the gravimetric field in less than an hour. Like, you're going to die. And Captain Shaw comes in, and Captain Shaw has been pretty seriously injured. Like he's got a cane, and he's completely immobilized on his right leg from the waist down. He was coughing up blood from internal bleeding and crap. Like, he was practically on death's door. And he comes walking in. And Picard is waxing poetic about this old story with an old comrade of his and whatnot. And Shaw pipes up. And Shaw, who had been either very heavily on painkillers or drinking in his quarters or both, probably both, goes, do you know how I first met Picard? Stardate 40234.7 is little sector Wolf 359 is, you know, hundreds of thousands of Federation people died, 30 ships, one made it out. And he goes, I was on one of those ships. And his retelling of this story is haunting.
Oh yeah. It's like extreme survivor's guilt.
For those who loved episode 1 of Deep Space Nine, where you have Jean-Luc Picard coming to bring on the new commander at Deep Space Nine and say, like, oh, you've got a heck of a mission in front of you, Commander. You know, you've got to bring peace among the Bajoran factions and, you know, open trade routes and commerce routes and everything else. And Sisko going, I didn't sign up for this. I don't want this. This is not the command I wanted, and this is crap. And Picard goes, well, I guess we could look into reassigning you, but it's going to take some time. And Sisko let slip that, you know, Picard goes, I'm sorry, have we met before? And Sisko goes, yes, sir, we met in battle at Wolf 359, which means you killed everything that I know and hold dear.
Right.
And I hate you. Unequivocally, I hate you. In the meantime, I will do my job to the best of my ability, sir. And that was the defiant, headstrong, pissed off, beyond remorse Sisko that basically told the childhood hero for a bunch of people to F off. And it was actually a pretty pivotal moment in like Star Trek history. I think Shaw's was better.
Oh, you think his was better?
I think the survivor's
well,
guilt.
he had this very much survivor's guilt. And it wasn't that you know, I don't want to give too much away of his story, but it wasn't like anybody's fault either.
Right.
It was left up to random chance.
Right.
To him.
He goes, you know, there were 50 of us, but only one life pod and only 10 seats. And we're not going to fight amongst each other. We're all friends. And until some random lieutenant walked up and goes, you. Me.
Yeah.
I'm lucky number 10. Why am I lucky number 10? I'm just some dipshit from Boston. I'm quoting, by the way. And holy crap. What a freaking scene.
Yeah.
What a turn of events. What a sway of emotion. What storytelling happened inside that holodeck.
It's really good because at the beginning, when you first meet Shaw, they try to make him out like a bad guy, right? He's giving Riker,
which I still love so much as a character,
right?
Respected the hell out of it.
And then you realize why later,
right?
They actually flush out his character. They actually make him something.
Good.
And that's what makes this series so much better.
Yeah.
It's much better. Acting, the acting was real fine, but the writing is so much better.
There's
it's-
actually a petition on change.org right now to give the reins of Star Trek to Terry Metalis, who is the showrunner for Picard season 3.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And give Todd Sawick, aka CAPTCHA, his own show.
That would be cool.
I want a CAPTCHA series.
Yeah.
I want to explore new life, new civilizations, new things that we've never seen before. Strange New Worlds, fantastic.
I love Strange New Worlds.
Freaking love Strange New World. It's the best Star Trek we've gotten since Voyager, probably.
I just finished it too. I just finished that one too because I had to wait for my wife to want to watch it, but it's great.
Strange New Worlds.
I absolutely love how they meld the aesthetics of the old original Star Trek, but still make it look modern.
Yeah.
They have like the old uniforms. In fact, I love the last episode, how they had future Pike come visit older Pike, and he's wearing Wrath of Khan era starship uniform. So it's like, that's a good touch. That's great. And it's
but yeah, Terry Matalis, he's the showrunner, executive producer for Star Trek Picard season 3. I said at the beginning, when we said we weren't going to do spoilers yet, that I thought season 3 of Picard is some of the best Star Trek we've ever seen.
I've seen it, in a long time. Absolutely.
And Strange New Worlds is fantastic. And I don't want to understate that I'm giving Strange New Worlds and Lower Decks both their due, because they're both fantastic. They've been fantastic from the start. Picard is hitting on another level. It is hitting on more cylinders than I've ever seen a Star Trek show hit before.
Yeah. It's what we were hoping season 1 and season 2 would be.
It really is.
This is like a redemption story.
Right.
Absolutely redemption story.
I gave season 1 pretty good overall marks. I think I'm on record as saying it's a B-. And then I think I've said season 2 was a solid B. Where above average of what you've been putting out, it's about what I expected, but also had some fantastic moments and not too many lulls. Whereas season 1, it seemed to drag on for a little bit. There were character moments that really didn't need to be in there, and then there's other ones that stretched too long. There were a couple leaps of like putting too much air into a balloon. We have this crystal that can replicate our ships and make it look like we have an army of 10,000 fighters. And whatnot. And it's like, I didn't really buy into that. But at the same time, it gave some character stories that were some of the best that we've ever seen in relation to Data and Q and some others.
Right.
So you have to give them their due. They're definitely worth the watch, but it's not season 5 and 6 of DS9. It's not season 7 of TNG. Where you've still got some pretty high benchmarks that you're trying to hit. Season 3 of Picard, 4 episodes in, I'm gonna call it best season of Star Trek ever.
It's way up there. Like I said, it's here, and here's the reason why I super like it. Because like I said before, the first 4 episodes are very much like an almost encompassed movie. And we've talked about this before. One of my favorite Star Trek movies is Wrath of Khan. There's a ton of beats in this that are identical to Wrath of Khan. Even up to the space battles where there's like a hunter and hunted type of scenario, and they have to go into the nebula and hide and looking around and trying to figure out how to. That's great. That has the exact same beats like Wrath of Khan did.
Yeah. The characters that they brought back for very specific purposes with very specific storylines. This wasn't the reunion special that I feared it would turn into. Of like, hey,
it wasn't like it's like it's not. And that's
the
nice thing. It's like it's not like everybody all of a sudden showed up all together. In fact, not everybody's even shown up yet. It's only been 4 episodes, and there's only been what. Okay,
there's Crusher, there's Riker. Troy has made a video appearance because there was no need to bring her along.
There, and then Worf only showed up
And Worf is still
Like-
working alongside Starfleet in some regard, but
Right.
is completely unconnected to the main
Yeah,
storyline.
he's unconnected to the main storyline, but he's there.
Right.
And so far there's Geordi hasn't showed up.
Yep.
We haven't seen
Although
anything
mentioned.
of,
Right.
although mentioned, yes, his daughter is on
Mhm.
the ship. And then there's no mention of, are they supposed to bring back O'Brien? I don't know.
I
would consider him a main-
keep hoping
main cast
they'll
member,
give
but-
DS9 its due in some way, shape, or form. They did make a fantastic reference to Odo.
Yeah, they did. That's right. That's
Where
right. That's
Odo
absolutely right.
contacted Worf from the Great Link to say, "Hey, some of my people are not so happy about this whole
Yep.
treaty bullshit,
Yep.
and they're looking to not be treacherous anymore."
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, like they're. I love the meme, and I think it is so true that Starfleet Picard season 3, and then it's inside the Trojan Horse is TNG season 8,
Yeah.
and then episode 3 hit, where it was revealed there's changelings here,
as it says
and then
DS9 in there.
inside the Trojan Horse for TNG season 8 is another Trojan Horse that says DS9 season 8.
Yeah.
It's like, yes!
No, they do. They bring it all back together.
It's so well written. There's
Yeah,
nothing
it is.
in there that's just superfluous. There's nothing in there that really doesn't belong or tell a story.
Yeah.
And nor are there things that are there just to throw in there. Like everything kind of has a purpose, and I'm just so happy for it so far.
Yeah, I am absolutely happy for it.
Yep.
In fact, tonight it's gonna be a new episode. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna go to watch it tonight, but
I watch on Thursday nights. So Thursday
Yeah.
after dinner, me and my wife sit down and we watch
right.
Picard.
I will probably be watching because my wife has to leave on Friday. So yes, I will be angling to watch it
Awesome.
tomorrow.
Cool. Anyway, that's going to do it for episode 276 of Talking Heads. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to Craft Computing if you haven't done so already. Join us every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time for the latest in beer and tech news. 2 very quick last super chats. Tech Geek sends over another $5. Do you know how Bilbo managed to survive the whole Lord of the Rings trilogy? Because old hobbits die hard. And another $5. You know why Switzerland has barcodes on the side of their ships? So
I
when
knew
they
this
come
one.
back to port, they can
They
scan
can
the navy.
Scandinavian.
Nice.
I remember. I've heard that one before. That's a dad joke.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
What's brown and kind of sticky?
Dung. Oh wait, no, that's the bell. This just probably sound like a bell. Is dung.
A stick.
A stick. Yeah. Yeah. What's brown? It sounds like a bell. Dung.
Yeah, what's brown and sticky? A stick.
Big stick. Yeah.
Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. And as always, we will catch you next week. Oh, and
See you guys later.
by the way, next week will
Oh.
be about an hour late. We're going to start at 7 instead of 6 because I have somewhere else to be. So
All right.
it'll be delayed, but still here.
Same bat channel, but
Same bat
different
channel.
bat time.
Temporary bat time.
Yeah, that's right.
Not here for a bat time, just a good time.
Yeah. It's a delayed daylight savings time.
Yes.